On April 17, 2021, a shocking piece of news exploded across media platforms. An Alaskan glacier, with a thick ice layer stretching about 63 kilometers, was suddenly accelerating in movement. Silently. The Muldrow Glacier, located north of Mount Denali, is currently experiencing a very rare drifting event, moving 27 meters per day, 100 times faster than its usual speed. So what exactly is this phenomenon? The Muldrow Glacier in Alaska is about 457 meters long, 2.4 kilometers wide, and stretches between 60 and 2.7 kilometers. According to records, under normal conditions, the glacier moves no more than 30 centimeters per day, about the length of a human footstep. To the naked eye, such movement is virtually undetectable. But now, it has suddenly accelerated 100 times, moving 27 meters each day. This glacier is no longer just a glacier. It has become a mobile ice lake. In early March 2021, pilot Chris Mano from K2 Airways, while flying over the Muldrow Glacier, suddenly observed the glacier in motion. Numerous new cracks had appeared across the ice. The rocky banks on both sides had also shifted, as if the entire glacier was tearing itself apart. He was utterly astonished and immediately used his phone to take numerous rapid photos. Later, geologist Chad Hultz also stepped forward and revealed, at the end of March, he had flown by helicopter to the glacier to install some equipment. The scene he witnessed left him completely speechless, because he discovered that the entire glacier had already cracked and fractured. The helicopter couldn't land at all. Moreover, while inside the helicopter, he could clearly hear the loud cracking sounds of the ice blocks breaking and collapsing, because the sound of the glacier sliding down overpowered even the loud engine noise of the helicopter. Surveys show that only about 1% of all glaciers in the world experience such rapid movement. This type of fast motion from the Muldrow Glacier last occurred around 1956 to 1957. It's been 64 years since then. Back then, the glacier advanced by 6.5 kilometers. Many people may not fully understand why this information is so astonishing. It's because scientists have stated that the cause of the glacier melting may not only be due to the Earth running a fever and heating up, but rather because of a shift in the direction of the Earth's magnetic field. And its consequences are unimaginable. According to scientists, Alaska is at the front line of the Earth's climate change impacts, and major climate changes are very likely caused by a shift in the Earth's magnetic field. Such a shift can lead to a series of various disasters for humanity, even mass extinction. Today, let us explore a phenomenon believed to be one of the causes of the end of the world: the reversal of Earth's magnetic poles. If you have ever watched the Hollywood blockbuster about the 2012 disaster, you may have encountered ideas about the apocalypse of humanity caused by the end of the fifth solar cycle, according to the Mayan calendar in legend. There are many versions of the theory about the apocalypse, and one of them is the concept of the geomagnetic reversal. Although in May 2012, the famous magazine Scientific American reported that the newly discovered version of the Mayan calendar suggests that the solar cycle will end together, humans still remain skeptical about whether geomagnetic reversal could lead to a mass extinction catastrophe. This is because the geomagnetic reversal is indeed closely related to the potential extinction of humanity. Humans living on Earth can enjoy the blue skies, golden sunlight, and breathe fresh air because the Earth has a strong protective layer, which is the atmosphere. This atmospheric layer, in space, is a magnetic field, also known as the magnetosphere. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss the next exciting adventures. The Earth's magnetic field plays a crucial role in navigation. When we use a compass, we can distinguish the north-south direction thanks to the Earth's magnetic field. The magnetic north always points towards the south pole of the Earth and vice versa. Therefore, the magnetic field helps the compass show the correct direction. Additionally, migratory animals like birds use the magnetic field to navigate during their migrations. The Earth is made up of 3 layers: the core, mantle, and crust. The Earth's magnetic field is generated from the core of the planet. The uneven movement between the inner core and the mantle creates the geomagnetic field. The outer core of the Earth is composed of elements like iron, nickel, and cobalt. The movement of these layers generates the magnetic field that protects the Earth. This magnetic field not only helps determine directions, but also protects the planet from harmful influences from space, such as harmful radiation from the sun. The Earth's magnetic field is vital for life on this planet. It not only helps us navigate, but also shields us from dangerous radiation and keeps the environment stable. How thick is this geomagnetic layer? Take this example. The closest point to the Sun is about 10 Earth radii away, and since the radius of Earth is 6,378.1 kilometers, this means it is about 60,378.1 kilometers. The farthest point from the Sun can be thousands of Earth radii away, which means 6,387,100 kilometers. This enormous magnetic field surrounds the Earth, which humans depend on for survival. When high-energy charged particles, such as solar wind, can block the harmful effects of cosmic rays and ultraviolet radiation on all living creatures on Earth. Therefore, this atmospheric layer is also the magnetosphere, the vital protective field of the Earth's biosphere. Without it, humans would have no way to survive on Earth. If the north-south poles of the magnetic field were to reverse, it would mean that Earth's heart disease has manifested, causing irregular heartbeat. Everyone knows what heart disease means for human health, and the Earth would be the same. Saying this in the context of an apocalyptic event caused by geomagnetic reversal, it seems even worse than other apocalyptic scenarios brought about by wars, pandemics, and those mentioned in various sources. It is also more destructive and frightening because it is highly possible that this is happening right now. So, what kind of disaster could this geomagnetic reversal bring, or what potential risks does it pose for Earth? First, let's explore the hypotheses and scientific evidence that have been discovered. Daniel Baker, the director of the Cosmic Physics Laboratory at the University of Colorado Boulder, stated in a report that the Earth's magnetic field reverses every 200,000 to 300,000 years, but the last reversal occurred 780,000 years ago. Over the past 200 years, the Earth's magnetic field has weakened by 15%, which could indicate that the north and south poles of the Earth are about to reverse. This could lead to ecological disasters. Satellite data from the Earth's magnetic field, observed by the European Space Agency, shows that the magnetic field inside the Earth's core is changing. The molten material inside the Earth's core, including iron and nickel, is being expelled. This serves as evidence that the Earth's core is unstable. Many theories suggest that if the magnetic field continues to weaken, solar winds could directly strike the Earth's ozone layer. This would damage global communication systems and microelectronic devices, as well as affect weather patterns and increase the incidence of cancer in humans. If a geomagnetic reversal were to occur, some areas on Earth would become uninhabitable. A banned book titled Adam and Eva, written by Chan Thomas, a disaster geologist who once worked for the CIA, predicted that Earth would experience geomagnetic reversal between 2015 and 2165. However, unlike 2015 mainstream scholars who argue that geomagnetic reversal is a very slow process, Chan Thomas suggested that the process is not slow at all, and in fact, the entire process could potentially complete in just 6 to 12 hours. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss the next exciting adventures. And because the time frame was so short, the chain reactions it triggered went far beyond human imagination. In 1900, a woolly mammoth was discovered in Siberia near the Arctic Circle. When it was found, the mammoth was remarkably well preserved. Its skin was still elastic, and scientists were even able to extract its blood. However, when biologists began to study it, they noticed several strange details. First, researchers observed that the mammoth had undergone a process of rapid freezing while it was still alive. The freezing occurred so quickly that tropical grass found in its mouth hadn't even been swallowed before it died. In fact, when the mammoth was discovered, it was still standing upright. Based on the mammoth's condition, experts estimated that the temperature must have suddenly dropped to below -80 degrees Celsius in just moments. For comparison, modern industrial flash freezing equipment typically only reaches temperatures between -35 and -40 degrees Celsius. The astonishing part is that they also discovered next to the mammoth some tropical plants and animals whose bodies showed signs of rapid freezing. So the issue arises. What event could cause the temperature to drop to -80 degrees Celsius? Could this really be the result of geomagnetic reversal as hypothesized? In 1959, the Americans discovered a radiation zone at an altitude between 3 to 6 Earth radii, containing high-energy particles that could harm living organisms. In 1963, Canadian geophysicist Open, based on this discovery, proposed an audacious hypothesis. During the period of geomagnetic reversal, when Earth's magnetic field weakens, the atmosphere would essentially vanish, and high-energy particles from the radiation zone would fall rapidly to the Earth's surface, causing mass extinction. This hypothesis, known as the one-to-one causal relationship, suggests that one reversal of the magnetic poles will lead to devastation. This seems to support Daniel's argument. The idea that some regions on Earth will become uninhabitable during the polar reversal is actually inaccurate. The result of geomagnetic reversal is global destruction, not limited to a specific region. In 1971, Australian scientist Crane discovered a strong correlation between the frequency of geomagnetic reversals and species extinction, with a correlation coefficient of 0.912. This sparked a surge in geomagnetic reversal research, but also led to 20 years of debate. In 1980, a research team led by the father and son duo of American scholars, Alvarez, published a 14-page paper in Science. They argued that asteroid collisions caused the mass extinction of species, particularly dinosaurs, at the end of the Cretaceous period. They denied that geomagnetic reversal caused extinction. In the same year, scientists Raup and Sepkoski discovered that during the Phanerozoic era, spanning 550 million years, there were 5 major extinctions. However, there were hundreds of geomagnetic reversals. The one-to-one causal theory cannot explain the 5 major extinctions, suggesting that multiple geomagnetic reversals could lead to extinction. Thus, it seems that research on geomagnetic reversal and the extinction of species has gradually faded away. So, the strong correlation between geomagnetic reversal and the extinction of species, discovered by Crane in 1971, could it be just a coincidence? 30 years later, American scientists Huey and Ward released their study on this issue. They found that the oxygen content in the atmosphere today is 21%. If it drops to 16%, the vast majority of species in the ocean would die from suffocation. During the Phanerozoic era, the oxygen content in the Earth's atmosphere dropped several times and had a strong correlation with the extinction of species. This proves that the one-to-one causal theory still holds value. However, a problem arises. Why does the oxygen content in the atmosphere decrease? This remains another unsolved mystery. In March 2021, Science magazine published the latest report on this issue. The study revealed that during the geomagnetic reversal, due to the weakening of the magnetic field, ozone levels in the atmosphere decreased, and the oxygen content in the air dropped significantly. This led to global climate changes and contributed to species extinctions. The magnetic field acts as a protective shield for Earth against cosmic rays from outer space. As the geomagnetic field weakens, more cosmic rays enter the atmosphere, producing increased levels of carbon-14. This carbon-14 is absorbed into plant tissues and preserved over time. Therefore, changes in carbon-14 levels can reflect changes in the electromagnetic field during that period. In this study, scientists used data recorded in ancient kauri trees that grew around 42,000 years ago and were preserved in the wetlands of New Zealand. This was the first time a geomagnetic reversal was linked to large-scale environmental changes of that era. Scientists believe that between 4,200 and 4,100 years ago, the Earth's magnetic field experienced a short-term reversal, which then triggered a series of environmental crises. It is possible that the weakening of the geomagnetic field led to the mass extinction of giant mammals such as woolly mammoths and giant wombats. A weakened geomagnetic field would result in a decrease in ozone levels in the atmosphere. Researchers have simulated this weakening and the associated atmospheric changes. Analytical instruments revealed an increase in cosmic rays, such as charged particles entering the atmosphere. This would lead to increased production of hydrogen and nitrogen oxides in the air. These molecules tend to deplete the ozone layer. As a result, the Earth's inhabitants would be less protected from ultraviolet radiation by the stratospheric ozone. Another piece of evidence for ozone depletion is that around 42,000 to 40,000 years ago, humans began using caves more frequently. In ancient rock carvings, people also left handprints and red ochre markings, which are believed to be an early form of sunscreen. This was likely a method humans used to shield themselves from intensifying UV rays. The prolonged weakening of the geomagnetic field served as an early warning signal of climate change. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss the next exciting adventures. According to data, since 2000, the Earth's magnetic field has been continuously weakening. Over the past 150 years, the intensity of the geomagnetic field has decreased by 15%. In the Atlantic Ocean, there is an abnormal geomagnetic area where the magnetic field's strength has weakened by 35%, causing artificial satellites affected by charged particles from the sun to have abnormal operations in that region. Moreover, these charged particles from the sun can reach areas closer to the Earth's surface. This is evidence that the Earth's magnetic field is weakening. Interestingly, on July 5, 2017, the media reported that a crop circle appeared in Warminster, UK. It is said to be a warning from extraterrestrials about geomagnetic reversal. So what would actually happen if Earth lost its magnetic field? If Earth were to completely lose its geomagnetic field, the first thing that would happen is that all compasses would malfunction, starting to behave strangely. The reason lies in the nature of these devices. They are essentially tiny magnets, just like any other magnets. They rely on Earth's magnetic field to operate. Without that field, compasses would no longer point north or south. Even a small magnetic rock could throw off a compass's direction. Without a magnetic field, migratory birds would stop navigating by the seasons, as they rely on the geomagnetic field for orientation, just like sea turtles, bees, lobsters, and some species of fish. So if the field disappeared, birds wouldn't know which direction to fly and might not survive the winter. Moreover, without a magnetic field, we might never see auroras again. Or if we did, they would be referred to as the former northern and southern lights. Earth's upper atmosphere would be exposed to the solar wind, and that terrifying sight would definitely not be as beautiful as the glowing auroras we see today. However, this is still not the worst outcome of losing the geomagnetic field. In fact, if the geomagnetic field disappears, we might not be able to survive anymore. The geomagnetic field protects the Earth from the deadly radiation particles. Once these particles reach the Earth's surface, humans will truly be in danger. You can see that astronauts on missions to the moon have reported the light they saw when they closed their eyes. This occurred after a period when cosmic rays passed through the retina and caused cataracts. Therefore, if the magnetic field disappears, cosmic rays will attack our bodies, leading to serious diseases such as cancer and even altering human DNA. Aside from health issues, technology would also be affected. Firstly, humans would lose control over satellites, and satellites would be damaged by solar storms, also known as geomagnetic storms. Without the magnetic field, power grids, computers, and other electronic devices would not be protected, potentially causing widespread power outages, weakening and halting internet connections. This would only get worse over time. As a result of the loss of the geomagnetic field, the air we breathe would be lost. The solar wind is the culprit. This wind is so strong that it could sweep the air away from Earth's atmosphere. As a result, all the water on Earth would evaporate, and Earth would become barren, without life. After hearing this, do you have enough information to form a concept of geomagnetic reversal? Do you believe that if this geomagnetic reversal occurs, the consequences will be this severe? And do you think that geomagnetic reversal is getting closer to Earth, with the primary manifestation being the strange climate changes mentioned earlier? Please share your thoughts in the comments below the video. Our discussion today ends here. Thank you for taking the time to watch. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you so much, and see you next time.